Okay, so let us continue our discussion on the digestive system. So, pinapakita po dito sa inyong screen ngayon ang itsura nga po ng digestive system and also its part. And as you can see, where or the location of the mucosa-associated lymphatic tissue, again, sabi natin, pag sinabi nating MALT or mucosa-associated lymphatic tissue, yan po ay opisina ng mga white blood cells, okay, such as your macrophages, T cell, B cell, okay, doon nga po sa ating tiyan, okay, or sa GIT natin. So, nandyan yan, syempre, para labanan yung mga na-trap na mga antigen from the lymph, and also, dahil nga ingestion, okay, tapos sa may part ng secretion process, di ba, ang trabaho ng tiyan natin. Tapos yung trabaho din ng GIT is absorption. Ganon. Kaya kailangan po doon sa ating system kay merong mga lymphatic tissue din po dyan. Okay? And as you can see, there are a lot of layers of muscles, okay, mga smooth muscles, okay, in our GIT. Okay, so let us discuss one by one the digestive system by starting the oral. Okay, oral cavity. It is lined with stratified squamous epithelium. Kindly highlight this one. Stratified squamous epithelium. The flattened superficial cells of the oral epithelium undergo continuous desquamation or loss at the surface. Okay? And please highlight also masticary mucosa. It is the keratinized cell layers that resist damage from the abrasion and are best developed on the gingiva and the hard palate. Okay? So, on the left side, that is the anatomy of the oral cavity. Of course, we are not future dentist, so hindi natin po i-detalye yung parts ng mga yan. Okay? Ang kailangan lang natin malaman ay yung processes, okay, at yung significance ng digestive system. Siyempre, mag-uumpisa yung digestion sa bunganga natin. Okay? At ano naman ang significance niyan sa ating mga medtech? We have salivary glands, okay, dun sa oral that releases saliva, and since it is fluid, meron po yung mga amylase. Yung purpose ni amylase enzyme ay para i-break down ang mga carbohydrates. Okay? Ang mga carbohydrates ay nanggagaling sa external environment. Okay? Depende yan sa kakainin natin. Okay? Breakdown siya. Kaya nga kapag may laway, ibig sabihin, okay, lubricant din yan, and at the same time, pampadulas, tapos ano pa, pampalusaw, okay, and pampa-breakdown ng mga carbohydrates. Okay? Yan po, yung kanyang significance. Next, we have what we call the red vermilion zone. I guess I have discussed this before. Na-mention ko ito noon sa midterms natin. Ito po yung zone doon sa lip natin. No? It is covered by very thin, keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium and is transitional between the oral mucosa and skin. Wala po siyang salivary glands or sweat glands, and it is kept moist with saliva from the tongue. Okay? Kaya nga minsan meron tayong tinatawag na dry lips, meron tayong tinatawag na wet lips. Okay? Kasi ang origin ng lips natin, walang salivary, walang sweat glands. Kasi nga yung salivary, syempre nandun sa loob. Okay? Okay? Tapos, yung lips talaga, depende lang siya sa external environment natin. Kung moist, kung dry, okay? Pero minsan nagiging red lips tayo naturally. Ibig sabihin nun, punong-puno po ng dugo yung lips. Try nyo guys, pag nakumpleto ang tulog nyo, pag gising nyo, look at the mirror. I have a red lips, natural red lips. Pero pag puyat kayo, dry ang lips ninyo, tapos sobrang itim. Okay? Yan. Yun lang naman yung mga observation na pwede lang naman nating ma-apply dito sa histology. And of course, tongue, di ba? Like sugar on my tongue, 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 your body is so sweet. Okay. Anyway, tongue is a mass of striated muscle covered by mucosa which manipulates ingested material during mastication and swallowing. It is located at the lower surface of the tongue. Okay? Smooth yan with a typical lining mucosa. Again, the lower surface is smooth with typical lining mucosa. The dorsal surface is irregular, having hundreds of small protruding papillae of various types on its anterior two-thirds and the masked lingual tonsils on the posterior third or root of the tongue. Be familiarized with the location of the tongue and tandaan natin sa likod ni tongue ay yung epiglottis. Okay? Ang epiglottis ang taga-manipulate ng mga papasok na pagkain sa ating katawan. Okay? Hinaharangan ni epiglottis yung trachea natin. Okay? Si tongue, siya ang manipulator ng mga ingested material during mastication. Okay? Pagka pangunguya, dila ang bida. Pero yung pagpasok, nung food na sa esophagus at hinaharangan yung trachea, that is epiglottis. Yun lang naman yung mga dapat nating tandaan. Okay, so this is the anatomy of the esophagus, okay, using a cadaver. Yan, para mas ma-imagine talaga natin at makita natin. So, ano ibig sabihin ng esophagus? No? Esophagus is a muscular tube about 25 centimeters long in adults which transports the swallowed material from the pharynx to the stomach. It is also function for lubricating and protecting the mucosa. Okay. Ano po ba ang function ng ating esophagus? Swallowing. Okay? Swallowing. It begins with a voluntary muscle action but finishes with involuntary peristalsis. And kapag usapang esophagus, di ba nahahati po yan sa tatlong parte. The first portion is the upper one-third, okay, is purely skeletal muscle. Okay? Purely skeletal muscle. Parang tongue, nakokontrol mo. Di ba? Kaya nga, ang mnemonic na nilagay ko dyan, USM. USM. Okay? Upper skeletal muscle. The middle portion of the esophagus has a combination of skeletal and smooth muscle fibers. Kaya nga, ang mnemonic na nilagay ko dyan, MSKSM. MSKSM. Okay? Middle is equal to skeletal and smooth, MSKSM, and the lower third, the muscularis, is exclusively smooth muscle, LSM. Okay? USM, MSKSM, LSM. Those are the parts and portions of the esophagus. Okay, let's proceed to the stomach. Okay? So, kung makikita ninyo sa anatomy ng isang cadaver, yung dulo ng esophagus ay konektado po doon sa stomach. Okay? Ano yung dulo ng ating esophagus? The lower esophageal sphincter. Okay? Tapos, as you can see on the cadaver, meron po dyan yung fundus of the stomach. Tapos, meron tayo dyan yung cardiac region and the body of stomach. And then below, we have the gastric folds or the rugae. And then, yung end portion niya ay pyloric region kung tawagin. The pyloric region is the region of stomach, okay, preparing now to the small intestine. At di ba alam naman natin, pag sinabi natin small intestine, meron niyang 3 parts. We have the duodenum, okay, ileum, and then jejunum. Dapat aware na tayo doon kasi basic na yan sa anafi natin. And then, located at the back, no, or in the image, sa tuktok ng stomach ay yung pancreas. Okay? Tapos, yung papansinin ninyo, meron dun sa dulo ng pancreas ay yung pancreatic duct. Okay? Siyempre, alam naman natin na yung pancreas ang nagre-release po ng mga hormone na insulin o kaya naman glucagon. Yung mga insulin at saka glucagon na yon, sila yung nagpapasok, nagko-control kung ilang amount, okay, ng sugar ang dapat, okay, na kunin or i-absorb ng ating katawan. Okay, so now that we are familiar with the anatomy, again, ano po ang tawag doon sa substance na nasa body ng stomach natin? Okay? It is a very concentrated solution, hydrochloric acid. In your IS, you will learn that it is less than 1 pH. Very concentrated talaga siya. Ibig sabihin, pag dinukot mo yan, tapos inilagay mo dun sa skin mo, susunugin po niya yung skin mo. Pero bakit yung stomach hindi? Due to the plenty layers of the muscles. Gaya nga ng sabi natin, meron dyan yung mga mucosa, okay, serosa, adventitia. Diba? Meron yung mga regions na yun. Makapal ang muscles ng stomach natin. Kaya kahit na very concentrated yung mismong acid na nandyan, hindi po kayang sunugin or punitin yung mga muscles dyan. However, kapag very acidic ang isang tao, tapos hindi kumain ang isang tao, minsan, yung concentration, umaangat na, di ba? Papunta dun sa cardia region ng stomach. Kaya nga meron tayong GERD na kung tawagin. Kaya minsan, heartburn kung tawagin. Kasi feeling natin kapag yung concentration o kaya kapag very acidic na, tapos yung acidity, it reaches now the cardia region, kumukulo na yung acid dyan, nafe-feel natin bakit parang sa puso yun. Okay? Parang nasusunog yung puso ko. Okay? Kaya hindi ka minsan makahinga, tas ina-acid ka, sasabihin mo, kaya ang ginagawa mo, uminom ka pa ng Coke, tapos uminom ka pa ng kape. O, diba? Sobrang acidic. Hanggang sa sobrang sakit na ng tiyan mo, feeling mo, nagkaka-ulcer ka na. Okay? That's the case naman sa mga GERD. Okay? Yung mga ina-acid po dyan. Napapaabot kasi minsan o kaya naman sobrang concentrated, kumukulo na yung HCl doon, umaabot na doon sa cardia region, natatouch na yung mga lower esophageal sphincter, kaya ang nangyayari para kang naduduwal. Diba? Kasi yung lower esophageal sphincter minsan binabalik yung pagkain, kaya ka nasusuka din, drowsiness, diba? Ewan ko kung na-experience yung mga ganon. Kasi ako, pag ina-acid ako, ang ginagawa ko lang naman, okay, kape lang. Okay, nagkakape lang ako, nawawala naman. Okay? So, it depends. Siguro sa inyo yan, no? Kasi the body has algorithm naman. And our body has also, is capable of homeostasis. The body can adjust. Depende sa treatment mo, sa katawan mo, no? Yun naman po yung aking experiences. Pero, well, let's go to our discussion. When we say stomach, it is greatly dilated segment of the digestive tract, whose main functions are to continue the digestion of carbohydrates initiated by the amylase of saliva. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na chemical digestion. dito sa portion ng stomach na to kasi nga yung mga nalusaw na mga pagkain or carbohydrates from the oral na lumagpas na sa esophagus tapos na-reach na yung stomach, ibo-broken down pa yan or ibo-break down pa yan hanggang sa maabot niya yung state na monosaccharide. Kasi pag naka-monosaccharide state na yan, yun lang yung papasok ngayon sa small intestine kasi nga, di ba, we've learned the site or the beginning of absorption is at the small intestine. And in order to absorb the food, it should be at the monosaccharide state. Because the monosaccharide state can bind with insulin. Okay? And can be carried on by the RBC to pass on to the circulation, to the tissues. Ganun po siya. Okay? Second, to add an acidic fluid to the ingested food and mixing its contents into viscous mass called chyme. Third, to begin digestion of triglycerides by a secreted lipase. Fourth, to promote the initial digestion of proteins with the enzyme pepsin. Fifth, covered by thin serosa. And sixth, it is greatly thickened by pyloric sphincter. Tandaan na lang natin that all the macronutrients are being broken down in the stomach. Basta anatomy naman ang usapan, nakita nyo dyan yung mga ito kulbot-kulbot, rugae ang tawag dyan. Okay? So, yun lang naman. Okay, so let's give highlight on the regions of the stomach. Cardia, it is known as the transitional zone, okay, between the esophagus and stomach, fundus and body. Please highlight the regions are identical in the microscopic structure, okay, and are the sites of gastric glands releasing acidic gastric juice. Third, pylorus, it is the funnel-shaped region that opens into the small intestine. Fourth, rugae, the mucosa and submucosa of the empty stomach, okay, that is longitudinally directed folds. Okay, it is flattened when the stomach fills with the food. Okay, so nakadepende pala sa rugae, okay, kung gutumin ka ba o hindi. Pag nag-flat na si rugae, may pagkain. Pero paano yun pag kumain na siya, okay, ng breakfast, lunch, and dinner sa loob ng 2 oras, gutom pa rin siya. It means hindi pa na-flatten yung rugae mo. Alright? So, para maging familiar kayo, ito po yung cadaveric, no, structure. Ganyan po yung mga itsura ng ating stomach and esophagus mula po doon sa cadaver. And on letter C, makikita nyo po dyan yung histological, okay, slide ng mga yan. Okay. Other layers, we have the submucosa and muscularis. Submucosa is composed of connective tissue with large blood and lymph vessels. It also contains the following cells: the lymphoid cells, macrophages, and also mast cells. And the muscularis, okay, has 3 poorly defined layers of smooth muscle, and these are longitudinal layer found at the outer part, circular layer, middle, and oblique layer at the innermost. For the cells, let us recall and be familiarized again on the following cells of the GIT. For the mucous neck cells, these are present mainly, okay, clustered, but also occur singly among the other cells. Okay? In the mucous neck cells, okay, Included are the progenitor and immature surface mucous cells. Second, parietal cells that secrete the intrinsic factor. It is also responsible for vitamin B12 uptake. And please take note that vitamin B12 uptake happens and occurs at the small intestine. Ito pong parietal cells ay may relevance din po sa hematology. Pero sana natin yan i-discuss. Parietal cells also produces HCl and are present among the mucous neck cells. Also, we have the chief cells, predominate at the lower region of the gastric glands and have all the characteristics of active protein secreting cells. Paki-highlight po yan. And we have the G cells, produces peptide gastrate. Okay, so ito na po yung small intestine natin. Sino po ba dito ang mahilig sa chicharong bulaklak? Di ba masarap ang chicharong bulaklak? Mga intestine po yun. Okay, so yan po yung itsura ng ating intestine. And as you can see on my right, meron po dyan yung tinatawag na mesentery. Yung parang sapot-sapot na nagdidikit po doon sa intestine at saka doon sa ibang parts, mga ugat. Ayan. Okay, please take note that small intestine is the site where digestive processes are completed and where the nutrients are absorbed by cells of the epithelial lining. Okay? It has parts. First, duodenum, the first and shortest section, where chyme from the stomach is mixed, with digestive juices. Second, jejunum, it is the middle section and is primarily responsible for absorbing most nutrients into the bloodstream. And third, we have the ileum, the final and longest section of the small intestine where it absorbs any remaining nutrients, particularly vitamin B12 and bile salts. Okay, bago siya dumaan sa large intestine. It has also mucosa. Okay, mucosa has the plicae circularis developed in jejunum. We have the villi or villi. Mucosal outgrowths projects into lumen. These are finger-like projections covered with simple columnar epithelium. Enterocytes are the absorptive cells. And also, be familiarized with the crypts of Lieberkühn, the opening short tubular glands between the villi. Be familiarized with the intestinal cells, enterocytes, goblet cells, Paneth cells, enteroendocrine cells, and M. microfolds cells. So, this is a picture of a large intestine na punong-puno po ng taba. Large intestine absorbs water and electrolytes and forms indigestible material into feces. It measures 6 to 7 centimeters with the wall puckered in the haustra. Be familiarized with the regions, cacum, ileocecal valve, appendix, sigmoid colon, and the rectum. The sigmoid colon has ascending, descending, and transverse parts. The cells are termed colonocytes. These are irregular microvilli and dilated intercellular spaces. Please take note that in the large intestine, the richness in malt is related to the large bacterial population of the large intestine. May mga bakterya dyan sa large intestine. Of course, alam natin yan po yung daluyan ng ating mga feces. Okay, konektado po yan sa rectum. The appendix has little or no absorptive function, but the function or the significance is, okay, it is part of the component ng bulk. The muscularis of the colon has longitudinal and circular layers but differs from that of the small intestine, with fibers of the outer layer gathered in 3 separate longitudinal bands called tinea coli. The mucosa and submucosa of the anal canal form several longitudinal folds, known as the anal columns. Near the anus, the circular layer of the rectum muscularis forms the internal anal sphincter. And of course, defecation involves the action of voluntary muscle comprising the external anal sphincter. Ang galing din ng design ni God sa atin kasi natural na voluntary muscle. Okay? Yung ikinabit niya sa pagtatae. Kaya nga may ability tayo na pigilan ang ating pagtae. Kasi voluntary muscle po yan. Imagine kung involuntary muscle yan at taing-tae ka na, you know what will happen. Okay? So, maliban na lang kung sa mga sakit ng mga matatanda, okay, yung mga nerve problem, kaya kahit voluntary muscles yan, at kung nerve problem yan, syempre, makakatai yung mga yan. Lalo na kapag humihina yung mga voluntary muscles due to impaired nerve or problem in the nerve. Okay? So, case-to-case basis pa rin po naman yan. But, to us, young, okay, yung external and anal sphincter ay voluntary muscle para makontrol po yung ating pagtatae. Okay? And of course, familiar na rin kayo yung pag-utot, kaya tayo umuutot ng napakabaho kasi those are gas na nai-release din ng mga bakterya sa loob. Okay? Nagpapakawala yan ng mga bubbles ng mga gas, kaya tayo umuutot din ng napakabaho. At yung mga napakabahong utot na yun ay dahil yun sa mga components, okay, organic compounds na mula doon sa mga kinain po natin. Okay? Alright, so thank you for listening. We are done with digestive system and of course, prepare for a happiest day ever on Monday. Okay? May magtatanong pa ba? Okay? Sir, may quiz po ba sa Monday? Yes po. Sir, ilan po? Depende po. Sir, ano pong scope? Digestive system po. Sir, prepared po ba? Okay? To be announced na lang po. Alright?